Just catching up on trade reviews from Friday. Didn't get the time to put one out, so just going to quickly do that now. Now early on, I plotted this sort of teal Scion sort of algorithm that was liquidity building for the long, and we've got the pink, which I plotted nice and early. What I missed here was, you see the break of the teal, that would have been a perfect entry to long for the push break out of the pink, but I was scared of the pink rejecting, so I didn't take the entry. So what I was looking for was a break out of the pink and a pull back into the pink, whether it be on the same candle or the next candle, and then enter there. That's what I was looking for, but we didn't get a pullback, whether it be on this candle or the next. And the reason for that was I did plot this dark blue precision algorithm here, but what I failed to do was copy it and anticipate it appearing here. So if I had done that, I would have realised we probably wouldn't get that pullback and probably just take the entry as we break. But I realised that as the second candle opened and we just pushed up, and I was like, yeah, that's the blue. So I need to get better at sort of pulling those algorithms across. Yeah, I totally missed that entry. But a better entry obviously would have been this one if I can just, off of the orange outbreak of the sort of Scion blue. Yeah, would have been perfect. But just need to work out when not to buy because of the overhead resistance and when to buy. But I suppose in hindsight, it's clear, we've got the liquidity build. It's not pushing fast into this level. Liquidity build right near there. We've got the volume coming in. Yeah, so in hindsight, it's clear. So hopefully I can learn to pick up on those signs a little bit faster. What else have we got? We've got the Zombie trade, which I didn't take. We've been like, as we've sort of broken out of the orange, we're on this side of the orange, and we've pulled up the Scion, albeit on like a sort of different angle. That angle, I believe I changed it as the price played out. And of course we've got the red, which I moved up there as these candles sort of topped. So if it had been like fast enough and a bit more daring, I could have got the zombie trade. But then again, it's not clear how far down this would come, because obviously we've got the liquidity build here that's just been grabbed, and it is more chopped down, isn't it? It's not like we've got like too much room to the downside, or obvious room unless you're looking in hindsight. So yeah, I wasn't comfortable taking that. What I did take was the break of the red, it appears. So I've put the horizontal pink in there. I've got the diagonal red in there. We broke down below it, and as we've sort of retested the red, I've took a short position and I pulled across the green, and we were out of the green pretty much straight away. But then I copied the line across, and we kept in the green there. And as we sort of, I've got this red here from these lows, and I was looking for, around the red, I was looking for a break of the green. So I've probably protected a bit too late there. Is that protection, or is that just a straight cover? Let's see. Yeah, it's only small size. I only took 50 shares, so it's a straight cover. So that's why there's no protection. Too small size, because I wasn't too confident in the trade. So yeah, it's just I was waiting for the break of the green. I was watching near the red level, and I covered or sold if it was in contracts, it would have been selling the puts, but because I'm paper trading and it's shares, I covered the short position. And then obviously we had the rebound. We've got the retest of the red. How many shares did I get there? Oh, 50. So I didn't buy extra. So this is just a short. So obviously we've rejected, and I've just put in the green again, and how many shares is it? I've gone twice there. 200. So I've gone in 400. First, yeah, 400. And I protected with 100. 200. That's selling 100. So let's. Sorry, it's been like the full weekend. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking at the time. A little bit more difficult. Obviously, I've plotted purple there, but I was more looking for a reject, I believe, off of this blue level. This blue level being sort of like a daily level. So, and we did get the reject. So, yeah. Still got some on from this entry here, and protected a little bit, and then I've added more here. And as I think, how many did I buy there? So I've got out 200 just to ease the position, as we didn't look to be, as the price just looked to be a little bit strong. And then I've just sort of re-added as we're testing that daily level, because we started to reject on that red candle, and I'd have been risking the pink at this point. So I've protected as we've come down in that green, and then I have taken more off as we've broke the green, and then need to work this out because I don't know if these are buys or sells. So obviously that's a cover. That's a cover. So what's the size of this one? 200, 100, 100. So that's the full 400. So what I've done is I've taken another short here, into the pink level, and also you can see it's outside the purple. It's into the pink level. What am I missing? I think I was trying to anticipate head and shoulders. That's what I was doing. Just draw that out. So I was seeing this, it's the right shoulder, the head, and somewhere in here, sort of the left shoulder, or even like this. And I was trying to anticipate the sell-off. That's what I was doing into the pink level. But as we broke out of that pink level, very tight risk, I've just got out the position, look. Small loss. And take that off. Okay, so let's go back to the other chart, because at some point I decided, that's too busy, and I sort of plotted out the main sort of trend and then brought in some smaller ones afterwards. But on the main sort of trend, you can see this red here, and this pink here. So this pink is the like a higher time frame sort for the wedge, like, and this red is this time frame for the wedge, and I think further down that's a higher time frame for a bigger wedge. So where were we? Okay, so that's the head and shoulders trade, and then we've broken out of the wedge. So we've broken out of this wedge line. Eric mentions this yellow line here as being like the key liquidity level, and basically said, as we break this, you know, basically watch for the big move. And I was a bit nervous about, obviously we broke out and we pulled back towards the level. I was a bit nervous about getting in because of that high liquidity above. And as we broke through, or started to break through, I was afraid of it just shooting off. So I just bought in there, and I don't know, it's a bit of FOMO, I think. And then I checked the sort of volume profile after. I mean, not even before these entries, after these entries at some point, probably after the full trading day, or towards the end of the trading day. And I noticed that there's like even more liquidity up here somewhere. So that teaches me to sort of not just take someone's word for it that this is the liquidity level, and once that breaks and blah, 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 you know, you got to do your own sort of analysis and look at the volume yourself. And I'd have seen like the big sort of volume layers layering out here. Got the point of control above this. The value area high. And I think this is just entering the value area low. I think that's where I got the long. It's sort of suicide. But yeah, we got the pull back to the pink level, and I just added size because I think I went small size on this on the break. Oh yeah, just 100 shares. And then I've just added 100 shares. Very tight risk. Not sure what I was risking now. It might have been the blue. Oh no, we've got a sell there. So it could have been the orange. I'm probably risking the orange, very tight risk. Obviously, we've broken back below the orange and the pink at the same time, and I've sold. But what I noticed was, you see this sort of reversal candle with the long wick. Look at this volume. The volume was just coming in heavy to buy. Great buying volume. And I thought this was going to be like a rocket. So you see here, we've got the long wick, and we've got a big rocket take a blast off. You see it a lot. I thought it was going to be one of those. So we've got the high volume, the long wick. The next open, I'm in. As we get this little pull, I'm in. Didn't fill straight away as soon as it pulled. You know, a few seconds later as it started coming back up, and it filled. Still got a good entry on the candle. In essence, what size was he in? It was 200 shares. In essence, I should have protected hindsight here, but I didn't. I was thinking about it, but I didn't quite pull the trigger. Because I had the confidence in this rocket because of the volume, the long wick, and I really felt we were going to rock it, and I was ready for a push above and sell a piece just to protect the position and then keep the rest on. However, I kept it on until we broke back down below the pink, and then we just broke straight back above, and then above the yellow, creating a new high on the day. And at this point, I'm just like, I'm not chasing. I think this might have been when I checked the volume profile as well. At some point around this price action. So yeah, I'm just like, I'm not chasing. I've taken a few cuts already, trying to get this breakout. It just wasn't working. So yeah, I think I entered in short next. Yeah, I have. So we've kind of got the shoulder, or the shoulder ahead. Just draw that out so it's a little bit clearer. All right, so where are we? So yeah, we've kind of got two sort of embedded shoulders here. Perhaps a head, but there's not really much neck room. So this really could have been just like the shoulder. That could have been the head. And sort of a shoulder over here. But I'm entering short here in anticipation of the sell and the sort of the lack of pushing we had here, the lack of continuation. And I think there's some quote by Jesse Livermore as well, like in one of his. I think I watched a video at some point where he was having a read of one of his books, and he was talking about the rules around breakouts and what he looks for. And essentially, from what I understand, he looks for like a clear continuation after the breakthrough of the level, and very little. If we get the pullback, very little selling. That's what he looks for, but we didn't get the clear continuation. So, and the selling had been stronger than the buying, to be fair, most of the day, and I did note that, but I just let it go out of my mind for the breakout of this after what Eric said about this liquidity level. Not putting like the blame on him, but yeah, I kind of like I'm looking to him for more guidance and sort of work out where I'm going wrong. So I let some of my own stuff slip in favour of what he says sometimes. So yeah, we didn't get the clear continuation. We did have the selling on like probably the same volume as the continuation at this point. And then, after I checked the volume profile, I was looking for, getting in on the opposite side, the selling. I entered short, probably a bit too soon because I was like emotions trying to make up for my mistakes over here. Got in a little bit too soon and had to cover as we sort of broke out. So I was looking for tight risk. And obviously we set a new high here. So I've got in short and I've covered. And then a short that I did take, although I don't know the exits, I'll just get rid of the drawing tool. So we've got 200. We've got 200. A little bit delayed on which candle did I enter? So I entered on, the first breakdown candle. And then as we sort of pulled back up into that level, I added in the rest of the size. What's this one? 400. I just got out the full 400 as we broke back above. So, yeah, I was looking for the sell-off below the red. Obviously, we've broken below the red. Looking for the green. We broke out of the green and we broke back above the red. And I covered a bit too soon. Risk probably a bit too tight because I think I'm feeling a bit of emotions at this point because of my earlier mistakes. In reality, if it wasn't paper trading, I should have walked away after these mistakes, so I didn't let the emotions come in. But since that was paper trading, I carried on just to keep learning, really, I suppose. But yeah, really, like this might have been a good entrance if I didn't have like the risk so tight. If I'd have got if I'd maybe just risked this blue. Can't remember if I had that blue in there at the time. I think I did. think I put it in after we got this high and we got these highs. So yeah, I put that blue in, yeah. Remember now. But I felt like we should stay below the red, stay below the key liquidity level. We broke above both, so I just cut it. Put the full 400. Big mistake, because then we sold off. Then, after I'd made that mistake of getting out, we broke below the higher time frame sort of wedge level. Now this was more of a testing trade, just for experience, because if we were in this wedge, the plan was if we broke down to the downside whilst we were still within the bounds, then I was looking for the the entry to sell for the short side. And as we broke down below this level here, I wasn't sure if it'd still be as good a trade or not as though it'd be in the wedge. So it's more of a test to see if it would be. But it seems that perhaps I should add into my rules. I only trade the breakdown of the wedge, when we're actually still in the wedge and not beyond it. Anyway, took that entry. I've gone in, I think, 400. Sell two 400s. Yeah, I guess so. I'm just clicking the same candle twice. Sorry, the same arrow twice. 6, 8, 33, 4, 4, 1. Yeah, it looks like it's the same. Let me zoom in a bit. Oh no, it's just showing me both. Yeah, I've got in 400. I'm not used to the platform, you see. So it's two arrows because it was two separate sell orders, but it's showing both sell orders for the same candle. So it's 400 shares have gone short. It's going to say I think it's a bit strange. Why would I go in 800 on a testing trade? 400 was bad enough because it's a testing trade. Should have been like 50 or something. But I think I was a bit peeved about this and the earlier mistakes. 2 seconds, there's someone at the door. I'm back. Yeah, so it's a bit of emotions on the size. In reality, I should have protected. But again, I think it was more about making up for earlier. So I didn't protect. And I even got out for a loss when we broke back above, and then I was just like, I'm done on the day. I'm away. Got to practice walking away as much as practicing trading when we're practicing. So yeah, I was like, I'm done on the day. Emotions became too much. So yeah. Okay, sorry that's a bit drawn out. It's been a few days since the trades. Obviously today being Monday. These trades are from Friday. Thank you for watching, if you lasted this long.